gentlemen, and welcome to the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. Of course, I am the analyst, Robert Leach, joined as always by the Couganator, and fresh off his Wrestlemania trip, the insider, Bastard. Eric Zeidler. We're here, we're live, ready for a new edition of the Sleeper Hold, the fallout from Wrestlemania, the fallout from PWA's Toga tournament, and we'll preview what's to come here on the indie scene as well as the shows that happened on the indie scene in New Jersey during Wrestlemania weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I think we should start right off with your Wrestlemania results. Excuse me. To start off, we saw Tony Nese defeat Buddy Murphy to win the Cruiserweight Championship.
That was an awesome match. You know, getting to see that live is nobody expected.
Definitely.
Nobody in the crowd.
It was fantastic. We also saw Carmella win the Women's Battle Royal.
Again, why?
I personally think it should be renamed the China Memorial Battle Royal, but that's just me.
Well, they already had controversy when they named it after Moolah. And if they're to name it after China, that's going to stir up another box of stuff they don't want to get into.
Call it the Bertha Faye Memorial Battle Royal, everybody.
How about the Wendy Richter?
Hey, I'm down with that. Miss Elizabeth.
Richter. Well, I don't think it can be a Wendy Richter Memorial because she's not dead yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know.
I accidentally said dead like I'm waiting for her to die. No, I'm not.
No.
Anyway, we saw Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, the Major Bros, win the Raw Tag Team Championship and end Kurt Angle's 269 loss. Kurt Angle's 269 loss losing streak on the grandest stage of the pre-show.
Used to say Kurt Angle.
Rewind.
Kurt Hawkins, my apologies.
You know, I genuinely was excited to see him finally end the losing streak.
It was great. You were there live to witness history, I guess.
That was historic.
Another streak ended that day. That's the second time a streak has ended at WrestleMania.
What was the other streak?
The Undertaker streak.
Oh yeah, first time Undertaker wasn't at a WrestleMania since what, 2000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years.
So he showed up the next night on Raw, but not at WrestleMania.
Good job, Vince.
But
I heard that Vince changed that, like, I think during WrestleMania or right before it.
We may not have gotten The Undertaker at WrestleMania, but what we did get was Thug Cena.
Thugonomics. Yeah. Flat out said on that
PG-13 Cena.
Oh, yeah. He flat out said on the mic that he was turning heel and that the attitude adjustment's gone and he was getting the FU, so...
Yeah.
That's good.
Actually, you know, not to cut you off, I really enjoy Thug Cena over the Fruity Pebbles Cena.
Fruity Pebble shirts, Mr.
Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
600 Make-A-Wishes.
I'm not knocking Make-A-Wish, for the record.
We're not knocking Cena for doing Make-A-Wish. We're just saying he returned to the character he played before he began his big deal with Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
Did you see that when they brought out Sue Aitchison for the Hall of Fame honoree at WrestleMania, that she had the 600 Make-A-Wish kid?
Well, I couldn't exactly look down and see it, but I looked at the video screen.
You heard the announcement.
I heard the announcement. I seen it on the video screen.
He was kind of behind the major video screen.
I want to get your thoughts on how is it during AJ Styles and Randy Orton? Could you see?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they had the exact same issue, the exact same chant at TakeOver.
Did they?
Yes. They had the same exact issue with that stupid light. It was supposed to make the fans look a lot
I heard
brighter.
about that. The spotlights that were on the screens.
on, and nobody could see the match whatsoever.
Yeah, I had one at TakeOver right in my direct view, and I was so happy when they finally shut it off. The entire crowd popped for it when they shut them off.
And that's bound to happen in a lot of WWE shows.
Biggest pop of the night.
Especially the house shows.
No, I think the biggest pop of the night was Hogan coming out.
At TakeOver?
No, at WrestleMania.
Oh, I was going to say, TakeOver. Pop of the night had to be Hogan.
Brother.
Yeah.
What you gonna do when...
Anyway, back to our WrestleMania results. Braun Strowman won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Last elimination was that Saturday Night Live
big
guy.
shocker.
Right, big shocker.
I could have swore it was going to be Carl Anderson.
I was kind of hoping for Carl Anderson.
I mean, yeah, I'd have loved to see Carl Anderson win, but he's not on good terms with the big man. From what I've been reading, he kind of wants to leave.
Well, of course, he's got friends in AEW.
Yeah. And in a plan that I read actually was decided half hour into the pre-show for WrestleMania as to when it would take place, Seth Rollins defeated Brock Lesnar to win the Universal Championship.
I was very surprised to see that match go on first because it was heavily rumored and it was really widely talked about that there on site that it was going to be Randy Orton and AJ Styles opening up the show.
And that was the original plan, but half hour after the pre-show started, Vince changed his mind and said, all right, I want to do this first.
Well, he probably just wanted to get Brock out of there so he didn't have to deal with him.
Probably.
That's probably true as well.
I kind of felt bad for Brock though because they. Now I don't know if you guys seen it on the feed, but like they cut the ring music and the lights to the ring while they were bringing up the next match, and Lesnar wasn't even out of the ring yet. Him and Paul Heyman were sitting in the middle of the ring
when they cut the lights, celebration music and everything.
No, I don't think we saw that.
I went back and rewatched it yesterday when during my last day off from work. I went back and rewatched it, and yeah, you see Lesnar going up the ramp, they had two ramps, so the side ramp and then the main one, going alongside of the side ramp as the next match was coming out.
Yeah, I thought I saw. Now that I look back, I think I saw that. I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, they cut the lights and everything. Yeah, they're still standing in the middle of the ring. Music hits for the next match.
They're still standing there.
Still standing there.
They didn't care. They said, Paul Heyman probably said, listen, if they're going to try to cut us short, we're going to stand here as long as we want. We'll start a feud with Randy Orton. We'll start a feud with AJ Styles.
Right.
We'll see what they have to say about that. Anyway, we saw AJ Styles did defeat Randy Orton.
Yeah, it was a very good match.
It was. I read that AJ Styles hurt his hip.
I
something like that.
In a sense, I kind of felt bad for Randy Orton and AJ Styles because the fans popped harder for them killing those stupid production lights than they were for the actual match.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
The Usos retained the SmackDown tag titles.
Weren't they the only ones that retained that night?
Yeah.
Yeah. They retained against Aleister Black and Ricochet, Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, and The Bar. By fluke, Shane McMahon defeated The Miz.
That was a brutal match.
Well, it wasn't really fluke. It was technically caught myself, almost said the I word. It was technically in the record books a clean win.
Shane McMahon.
But it was a fluke because The Miz did the move and didn't mean for Shane to land on top of it.
Yeah.
The Iconics, they won the tag team championship.
Again, why?
I wanted the Iconics to win.
Now we have to listen to these Australian chicks scream all the time because Because they're iconic. Yeah, they defeated Sasha and Bayley, Nia Jax and Tamina, and Beth Phoenix and Natalya.
I would have rather seen any one of the other three teams win it.
Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya, and Beth Phoenix all have not been seen since. Neither have.
Because they're ashamed of losing to the Iconics.
Neither has AJ Styles or The Miz. Or Brock Lesnar, which is that a surprise? No.
No.
Yeah.
Rumor going around, he had to go back into training, him in DC in August.
Oh, yeah.
So it is possible we could see Brock maybe back in the WWE SummerSlam, maybe?
I read that Brock Lesnar was home by the time Raw started the next night.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was home that night.
But he probably was.
I don't know the way traffic was around that venue.
Well, that's why he left early.
Good point.
Brock Lesnar probably had Charlotte's helicopter take him to the airport before it had to pick up Charlotte for the opening scene.
Ooh, maybe the helicopters that they used for the flyover picked Brock up.
Yeah.
Maybe they landed behind the stadium, picked him up, and
I want to know how the hell they had Charlotte dropped in a helicopter, land in the middle of a parking lot where somehow nobody was parked at all.
Well, the stadium doesn't exactly have a heliport.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, probably pre-taped.
it's through the power of technology.
They probably pre-taped it the night before, let's be honest.
Well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, they were doing a bunch of different tests at MetLife. They were doing light tests, sound tests, pyro tests. They did pyro tests Saturday night.
Yeah, they did. I heard about that. They did a lot of pyro tests and stuff.
And by the way, compared to last year, way more pyro.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. We had... all I really noticed, though, the only pyro that I noticed was at the very beginning and then Brock Lesnar's entrance.
If basically, at the stadium, if you won a match, you got pyro.
There you go. Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship. Which,
again, I felt kind of bad for Kofi because he kind of got the Brock Lesnar treatment. Him, Biggie, and Xavier Woods were still in the ring celebrating when they were getting ready for the next match.
Oh yeah, I saw the camera cut off while they were in the ring.
That's what happens when you're running over on time.
Yeah,
running over on
time. Almost 12:30 Eastern.
The scheduled show run length was already over on time. We had Samoa Joe beat Rey Mysterio in exactly 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, we had to cut time somewhere.
I mean, to be honest, they probably had the referee probably had the earpiece in.
Wait, Samoa Joe retained too.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
So there were two retentions.
It was probably that they scheduled the match exactly how it was supposed to go, and the referee had an earpiece in to tell Samoa Joe, "Hey, exactly 1 minute. Hey, Rey Mysterio, it's over.
Go home."
It's like, guys, we got to kill time. Your match is on the chopping block, so go out there and
have the best.
We could cancel your
match.
We could cancel your match, or forget everything about Dominic being on TV and Rey Mysterio beating the hell out of Samoa Joe, and just have you get squashed in a minute. And yeah, Rey Mysterio said in an interview a day or two later that he doesn't see himself wrestling for much longer.
Which is, he is getting up there.
He's been doing it since the late 90s. So.
Right. If he does retire, he's had a full career. He's faced everybody, held titles in a bunch of different organizations. So he's had a good career.
Definitely. One thing, I'm talking about retirement again. We saw, I was watching the pay-per-view, and my friend was like, "Hey, how old is Batista?" I said, "I don't know, let's look it up." Because he can't, I was like, "Oh, he can't be any more than upper 30s. Look him up. 50.
50?
He didn't start until his 30s.
I know, he didn't start until his 30s, so that makes more sense now. Roman Reigns beat Drew McIntyre. Nobody cared about that match.
Yeah, no big surprise there.
Literally, I don't remember any of that match. Sorry, Roman, but didn't even see the finish. I just heard, and your winner of the match, Roman Reigns.
It was probably a Superman punch.
I was doing the wave.
Yeah, they were trying to get a wave started during that match. That's right.
It went around.
And every time they screwed it up and it didn't go back, yeah. We had Triple H beat Batista. If Triple H lost, he'd have to retire. Batista lost and he retired. We had Baron Corbin beat Kurt Angle in his final match.
Big shocker.
Again, I still don't know why the hell it was Baron Corbin. Should have been Cena. But let's just...
the Demon Finn Balor defeated Bobby Lashley to win the Intercontinental Championship. Surprise, surprise.
Which the Demon entrance I thought was kind of cool to see live.
Oh, I'm sure it was, yeah. Then we had Becky Lynch beat Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair to win both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships.
Oh yeah, they totally botched that finish.
Well, yeah, it wasn't supposed to be pinfall. It was supposed to be
submission on Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think Charlotte screwed up her knee when they did that Spanish fly spot.
Yeah.
Because
the ref miscounted on.
Why would she sell her knee and then they don't target the knee the rest of the match? She had that.
They didn't have time. They were supposed to come back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have. I don't know.
The pinfall was botched. Was what it was.
Yeah.
The ref counted 3 when he was only supposed to go to 2. And
the referee didn't have a very good night that night.
And do a long enough pause so Becky could let go of Ronda, but it didn't work out that way.
He didn't exactly have the best Monday Night Raw either.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because rumor has it he got fined.
Oh yeah, that's what I read. Good old referee there. You owe us money.
Yeah. Bet you he's about $100,000 lighter in that
we'll
pocket.
take it out of your check.
Hey, it's alright, buddy. It's your WrestleMania check.
Wage deduction.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, women main event at WrestleMania. Do I see it happening again next year? Not a chance. Considering that screwy finish. And the fact that Ronda broke her hand and Charlotte, I think, screwed up her knee. I don't know.
I'm going to make a couple bold predictions here. I'm going to say next year they are going to do Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
And we're going to see Kairi Sane on the main roster, and she is going to do an entrance that includes the pirate ship at Raymond James Stadium.
Well, probably.
And if it doesn't happen, the crowd will riot.
There would be no reason to do a pirate theme in a stadium with a friggin' pirate ship.
I mean, they've already got advertisements that looks like some video game circa 2006 with a pirate ship in it and everything like that, like some Pirates of the Caribbean DS game or something.
And it was kind of funny. I don't know if you guys caught the vibe on the live feed, but when they played the promo for WrestleMania next year, it's like everybody got excited like they didn't know it had already been announced 2 weeks before.
Well, maybe a lot of people missed that announcement.
62,000 people?
You have a chance of a margin of error there, you know?
True.
Good Lord.
Okay, well, let's move on to the indie scene there.
WrestleMania, Raw, things happened. Mark Sullivan debuted, Undertaker returned, and Rollins and Kofi got to face the Bar. And Sami Zayn returned.
Oh, yeah.
SmackDown, for some reason, Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre were there.
Oh, and you forgot about the creepy buzzard promo.
That's Bray Wyatt. That's Bray Wyatt.
I thought it was the demented cousin of the gobbledygooker.
Probably is. But he knows Bray Wyatt personally.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the actual gobbledygooker and Barry Windham back in the day. IRS and the gobbledygooker were probably like this, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know that Bray Wyatt was named for Barry Windham, right?
Oh, yeah. We had... Yeah, that's it. That's all interesting that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, over to you.
Oh, over to me?
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going to go over a couple of the shows real quick from WrestleCon.
I'll try not to take too much time. I know there's an announcement that some people are wanting us to get to
go
here
ahead
soon.
and make that announcement now?
I was waiting until we got to the PWA portion. I don't want to say it too soon.
Tease them a little. All right.
Just a tip.
That's what she said. Anyway, the first show, which was Friday morning at 10 o'clock here, U.S. versus the World. Opening match, Brian Pillman Jr. defeated Emails Satoshi. MJF defeated Ethan Page. I'm going to go on the record and say MJF, either he's really good about staying in character or he is a for real life jerk.
Well, there are a lot of real life jerks in the wrestling world.
But yeah,
I'm sure Rob would say that about a couple PWA superstars.
I got a funny story to share after the show about that.
Oh, goody. After the bell.
Next match, David Starr defeated Daga by submission. Black Taurus defeated Darby Allin. Black Taurus kind of looked like the demented son of Mantar. But it was really awesome. His entrance was cool. The next match, Jiro Kuroshio defeated Rich Swann. Now, in that match, we got to see more of the WWE style Rich Swann, the dancing and the "can you handle this" type stuff. Next match,
Can you handle this? Can you handle this? Can you handle this?
Yeah, he did his little ring dance in the split. Yeah. Next match was the Rascals from Impact taking on defeating Australian Suicide, Adam Brooks and Robbie Eagles.
Australian Suicide was there?
Yes, Australian.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, they put on a heck of a match. Next match, Hart Foundation, Davey Boy Smith
2.0.
Jr. and Teddy Hart defeated
2.0.
LAX.
You got 2.0.
Oh yeah, 2.0.
Not the one that got attacked at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Next match, Puma King defeated Sammy Guevara, which that was my first time seeing either talent. First time I've ever seen a match, somebody stop in the middle of their match, both performers promote their YouTube channels. Puma King did it first, and then Sammy, they did a couple
Speaking of
spots
which, you're watching the Sleeper Hold on YouTube.
on YouTube.
YouTube.com/thesleeperhold. We have to advertise our show on our channel.
But yeah, and then they did a couple spots, and then Sammy Guevara grabbed the mic and promoted his YouTube channel. Next, and the main event for that show was Brian Cage and Masato Tanaka from ECW. Brian Cage did pick up the win in that match.
My favorite part about WrestleMania weekend, hands down, was seeing, well, we'll get to the whole spiel in a minute, but seeing the, what he thinks is future PGP franchise champion get eliminated in the Battle Royal, $1 million Battle Royal by a woman. Danny Adams eliminated by Alley Cat.
Alright, next show was Pancakes and Pile Drivers 3. Now, the show, it was an awesome show. It was the last match for Shane Strickland on the Indies. It's heavily rumored he's heading to WWE. Anyway, now, in years past, they've always served pancakes to the crowd before the show. Apparently, the venue, the Wrestling Revolver, it's owned by Sami Callihan. And usually, every year during WrestleMania weekend, they serve pancakes to the crowd. Well, this year they were told they would face a very hefty fine, and the show would get shut down if they saw one pancake in the arena where the ring was set
So
up.
they should have renamed the show to No Pancakes, Just Pile Drivers.
That was awesome. Anyway, match number 1 was a triple threat match. A lot of multi-man matches at this show. We saw Moose defeat David Starr and the Machine Brian Cage. The next match was a tag team gauntlet match to crown the new Wrestling Revolver tag team champions. In that match, you saw the besties in the world defeat Aussie Open.
Oh, they did. They did, didn't they?
The Rascals defeated besties in the world.
Oh.
Lucha Bros defeated the Rascals.
Ooh.
LAX defeated the Lucha Bros. And Team Tremendous defeated LAX to capture the Wrestling Revolver Tag Team titles.
It's not besties in the world. I don't want it. It's like New Japan, worth nothing anymore. Michael Hogan's gone. It's not okay.
It's very okay.
No.
Next match, JT Gunn defeated Ace Austin, Sammy Guevara, and AR Fox. Next match was a multi-man scramble match for the Open Invite Championship, which, when you thought around a weekend where you thought you've seen everything to see in wrestling, we actually got to see a tent brought into the match. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to who brought it in the ring.
Who were the participants?
There was a lot, but these are the ones I remember. Jake Manning.
Jake Manning? He's wrestled
Manning.
for PWA before.
Ian Maxwell, Daga, Lance Noi, Mance Warner, Eric Cannon, Trey Miguel, Shigeru Irie, John Schuyler, and KTB. There was about 30 guys.
Was Joey Ryan in it?
No, Joey Ryan.
No, I don't have an idea.
But yeah, Jake Manning brought a tent into the ring.
The Man Scout.
Man Scout.
Of course, he'd be prepared.
Caleb Connie won the scramble match for the Open Invite Championship. Next match, the first singles match of the card. N-Dog 20 Matt Cross defeated Adam Brooks. Next match, the TNA Rich Swann defeated Chuck Mambo. And this match actually was for the X Division title.
Oh.
One of the hosts for the night was Jimmy Jacobs.
Oh, okay. The unprofessional professional wrestler.
And he also said, he had called Don Callis a sexual organ. And he said, before I get fired from Impact for calling him a sexual organ, I'm making this match for the X Division title.
Oh, okay.
Because Don Callis was on commentary.
Don Callis, you're up. The sexual organ.
Yeah.
Let's just call him Richard.
Yeah, Richard, yeah.
Richard's the word?
Yeah, but Rich Swann picked up the W and successfully defended his title. The next match was a battle of the big men.
Oh, here we go.
Big people. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh.
Where Jacob Fatu defeated Falaban, Ace Romero, Madman Fulton, Larry D, Dan Maff, and a last-minute addition, Jessica Havoc. Gotta give her credit. She hung in there with them guys. Took punches. Sure. And Jacob Fatu was also accompanied to the ring by his father, the Tongan Kid.
Very nice, very nice.
The next match was billed as the Battle of the Sexes.
Oh, here we go.
Tessa Blanchard defeated Ricky Shane Page.
Okay.
Now, Ricky Shane Page is primarily known as a deathmatch wrestler. But this was not a death match. This was just a regular wrestling match. And all I gotta say about Tessa Blanchard, that booty. But yeah, she
the
picked
insider's
up the
comments are those in his own and do not reflect the views of the Sleeper Hold. We do not objectify women.
Hey,
as a
if
whole.
it's 10 feet in front of me, I'm looking. I'm sorry.
When I saw Alexa Bliss at a house show one time.
Yeah. And then the main event, 6-man tag.
Ooh, here we go.
Shane Strickland, Eddie Kingston, and Joe Gacy.
I know 2 of those people.
Defeated OVE in Shane Strickland's last match. Now, I had a flashback from home because I kept hearing people chant whose house, and I wanted to chant my house. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Of course it happens. But yeah.
Speaking of that, he's now officially retired.
I did happen to see that. I did kind of keep a little bit of an eye on things back home from there, but
from way far yonder.
Yep, but
the Big Apple.
And just a piece of advice: if you have a chance to drive in New York, don't do it. Take the public transportation.
I wouldn't even do that.
Except if you're going to a major event.
Like WrestleMania.
Yeah. I had friends that didn't get back to their Airbnb until 3:30, 4 o'clock, even as late as 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I heard there were still people in the parking lot.
Jersey.
I heard there were still people in the parking lot like 2 hours after the show ended, after WrestleMania ended.
Standing out in the pouring rain. Now that's a night I'm glad we drove.
Oh, I'm sure. It might have taken a while.
It didn't take that long. It took maybe 20 minutes.
And there you go. It was later at night anyway. It couldn't have been very, very hard.
Oh, even when we even stopped because, you know, if you go to a big WWE event and it's sponsored by a candy company, they have like little things where you take samples. And I even stopped to fill up my samples and go. And yeah, there were still long lines of cars trying to get out of the arena.
I'm sure. I'm very sure of that one.
But, you know, overall, my experience... Oh! Local tie-in here. After I left Pancakes and Pile Drivers, I was walking around the convention floor. Went to go meet a couple of people, and lo and behold, I look over my right shoulder, and who do I see? Former PWA Regional Heavyweight Champion, Jake Lander.
Very nice.
Yes.
I love Jake Lander. He's really cool.
Yeah.
He's a really great guy.
Yeah, we stopped, we conversed, stopped to conversate for a few minutes, and
oh, definitely.
he went his way and I went mine. I went and met Demon Bunny.
There you go. Good day for all.
Yeah, good day for all.
Well.
Now next week, that's it for this week for me. Next week we'll go over NXT TakeOver and the G1 Supercard.
G1 Supercard of Honor, or was it Supercard?
Just G1 Supercard, Madison Square Garden.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. But right now, we have results from PWA.
This I've been waiting for.
This is what everybody's waiting to hear.
We'll start
the results of the Toga tournament.
We'll start with the Toga tournament. We saw Brooke Valentine defeat Vanessa Azuri in both women's debut match for PWA. Billy Alexander came to the ring at that point, told Attitude Inc., make your way out here, surrender your titles, because we're starting the Toga tournament. Attitude Inc.
Yeah, and this year's tournament was for the tag titles.
Yes, I do remember seeing that before.
Tag team titles were, although they didn't want to, they...
Reluctantly.
That's the word I'm looking for. Reluctantly handed over the titles before being interrupted by the Legion of Magnus. Magnus entered the ring and said, "Hey, I'm willing to make a deal with you. Me and one of my henchmen will gladly partake in this tag team match, and my henchman will lie down flat on his back for you. So you can advance in this tournament." Just as the bell was about to ring, here came Riley McGuire.
Okay.
Riley McGuire, who was kidnapped back at Envy by the Legion of Magnus, or excuse me, the Nation of Magnus, as they're now known as.
Are they still from Magnustan?
They're still from Magnustan.
Did we ever figure out where Magnustan was?
No.
We got to get him on to find out.
We have to figure that out from Magnus. Either way, Riley McGuire fought Magnus and his henchmen to the back, and Attitude Inc. were just alone in the ring talking to each other. And, you know, all the henchmen were in the back, and then a certain somebody's music hit.
Okay.
And entered the ring behind them while they were looking at the entrance waiting for him to come out.
Oh, actually...
and there was one henchman that hadn't left yet.
Really?
I forgot about it.
a quite tall henchman.
He took off the mask. The music was playing. All of a sudden, I went deaf for a few seconds.
Because
of the mass amount of volume for Benz, who was under that mask.
Wow, Benz?
Disguised himself as one of Magnus's henchmen to
Turns
get
Spencer
a cheap
around.
shot
Right hand. Guy Smith
attitude
looks
angle.
over. Guy Smith gets caught. Benz is on fire. All of a sudden gets hit with the cutter by Spencer Powers. Picked up again. Bicycle kick into a cutter by Attitude Inc. for the victory. An easy first round victory for Attitude Inc.
Okay.
And since Benz was disguised as one of the henchmen, he was kind of part of the match. So
He was
Fair enough.
technically in the match because it was Magnus and a henchman. And the henchman was just the first legal guy. And the henchman just happened to be Benz.
Okay.
And that's kind of cool because that's the first time we've actually had a henchman unmasked.
Wow. I wonder if we'll see more henchmen unmasked in the future.
We'll have to find out. Next, in the first round, we saw Harley with her mystery partner.
I did happen to see this. I did see.
Harley's mystery partner was her former enemy, somebody that Harley now calls her wrestling soulmate, Shauna Reed.
Weren't they like frenemies or something?
Something like that, I'm not sure.
But now they're wrestling soulmates.
Yes.
Interesting.
And they defeated Dan Whitlock and Big Sexy JP, the Yummy Bears.
They beat the Yummy Bears?
They beat the Yummy Bears.
Man. That was my pick.
Our third match in the first round. Brian Ely and DC Shaw were doing pretty well over Victor Analog and Hatta.
Really?
Brian Ely climbed to the top rope, was getting ready to drop the elbow on Victor Analog,
Okay.
and DC Shaw tagged himself in.
Okay.
Which shouldn't have been legal, because he walked from his corner all the way down the
yeah, he
apron.
was kind of quite away from the tag rope length. From
It
the
wasn't
corner.
an extra long tag rope?
No.
No, he didn't have the tag rope in hand, and somehow the referee allowed this. He tagged himself in.
Hey, it's not just WWE referees that can botch things.
Yeah.
But anyway, so DC Shaw tags himself in. There's kind of a cluster between Brian Ely and DC Shaw. Brian's like, "What are you doing? I have this. Get out of here, kid." DC Shaw's, the young up-and-comer. Dude, I can do this. I want to prove myself. I want to get the victory.
Right, because he wants to prove that he can hang.
Turns around and gets hit with the knee into the Sister Abigail. For the 1, 2, 3. And Hatta and Analog advance. Final match in the first round. Easy match. Sage and Chase defeat Sweet Street.
Are they still having issues, Sweet Street? Is that last time I seen?
Sweet Street, I think they're getting resolved a little bit.
Good.
They seem to be more on the same page.
Good.
After that, I do think Dan Liplock and Big Sexy JP rushed into the ring and tried to fight and got beat up.
The Yummy Bears.
The Yummy Bears, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be an epic feud if that ever happens. Sweet Street.
No, what they
Oh.
need is
Yummy Bears.
what they need is a parody of the Gummy Bear song
Yes.
We'll
to
have
be
to
their
see.
entrance music.
We are the Yummy Bears.
We'll have to see what it could lead into because Spectacle's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner. Speaking of
But no,
Spectacle.
as I tried to lead into intermission, I was interrupted by Tom Larson. Again, this isn't the first time this has happened.
Did he beat you up this time?
No. He
Okay.
got in my face and told me that he is the sire of success and the pinnacle of prosperity, and he is on fire,
Okay.
and called out Truck Thompson. Truck's music hits. He starts getting out of the ring. He says, "Truck's not here. Truck is not here." His back is to the curtain. He's bragging to the crowd. And he backs in. He wasn't watching where he was stepping, and he backed into one of PWA's trucks that we parked inside of the venue.
Truck Thompson, to be exact.
Oh,
Maybe a Thompson truck.
wasn't a Mack truck?
No, it was a Thompson truck.
It was a Thompson? Okay.
And he threw Tom Larson into the ring, impromptu match, and within about a minute, Truck Thompson defeated Tom Larson.
Awesome.
Then, of course, because we haven't addressed this on the show yet, Billy Alexander made his way to the ring before intermission and made the unfortunate announcement that Road Warrior Animal, due to some unforeseen circumstances, will not be able to be at the Grand Wrestling Spectacle. Now,
however,
that's not our special announcement.
However,
we're going to get to that in just a moment once I finish
touching
the
on Animal, though. I have heard that it is in the works to try to bring him back later in the year,
Yes.
say possibly around Halloween.
Awesome.
That would be great.
Did get to meet Road Warrior Animal at WrestleCon. Very nice gentleman. A little intimidating because he's got the spikes and
He's got all the face paint and spikes, and he talks like this all the time.
But very nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure. I've seen him. Well, I never got to formally meet him yet. But yeah,
I was from me to Kluganator from him.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that was between me and Road Warrior Animal were the spikes.
Great. Anyway, during intermission, first of all, I knew there was a birthday. Candy Deluxe's birthday.
Nice.
Brought Candy Deluxe and Sweet Street to the ring to celebrate his birthday.
Did you sing Happy Birthday?
Actually, no, it was just Candy Deluxe in the ring. I was singing Happy Birthday to him. Got about the Happy Birthday, dear Candy. And then somebody slid into the ring, somebody named Dan Liplock, and attacked Candy Deluxe from behind.
On his birthday.
With Big Sexy JP on his birthday, and then out came Sweet Street to make the save.
Yeah, it wasn't that sweet of a birthday for Candy Deluxe that day.
It's alright though, because he got saved by Sweet Street. And I hear the board of directors have been getting some requests for a certain match from Sweet Street, so we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled for that one.
More on
because
that
it's up to Billy
later
Alexander to make the matches around here. Anyway, second round kicked off. Attitude Inc. Made their way to the ring. Spencer Powers punched me in the face.
Again.
I think Spencer Powers secretly listens to this show and has heard your comments about him.
It didn't help.
Purely speculation.
It didn't help that I kind of made the comment on one of his Facebook posts that I paid Becky Lynch $3,000 to throw him into a barricade. Yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah, no.
They beat Harley and Shauna Reed. Pretty easy.
Okay.
And then Hada and Victor Analog in a rematch from last month.
Okay.
Because Victor Analog and Hada versus Sage and Chase actually ended with a disqualification after Attitude Inc. went on the attack and then hit everyone with chairs.
Including you.
Yeah, including me, whatever. Spencer hits like a girl.
When is he ever going to learn?
He'll learn at Spectacle, I think.
I secretly think he enjoys those beatings.
Anyway,
open mouth, insert foot.
Technicolor Wonderland defeated Sage and Chase. Next, Alexander came back to the ring to host a contract signing between Casey Jackson and Jimmy Carrot. They both signed on the dotted line and all was good. Then someone's music hit.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. I wasn't there, didn't see it, but I'm going to assume it went the route of every single contract signing known to man. Somebody went through a table, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, am I right?
Yeah.
All right.
Cardini beat up Casey Jackson, put Jimmy Carrot through the table with a powerbomb, cornered Billy Alexander in the ring, terrified Billy Alexander, and forced his way. He said he wanted to replace Jimmy Carrot.
Okay.
And Billy Alexander said, I'm not going to have you replace Jimmy Carrot because Jimmy Carrot deserves this match. And you haven't even earned it, technically. But I'll make it a triple threat.
Okay.
Cardini said, fine.
He said it just like that.
Fine.
Fine. Signed the contract, exited the ring, and then we had to do quite a bit of cleanup.
Well, yeah, because somebody went through a table.
Yes, and there was wood chips everywhere. And I had to move the parts of the table under the ring.
That was a good table, too.
It was. That was our ticket table.
It was our ticket table?
It was our ticket table that they stole. Billy Alexander asked to borrow it for the contract signing.
Table for DJ stuff too.
Cool. I'll be able to check that out.
I mean, Billy Alexander has to borrow that table for the contract signing, and then it went awry.
Tables never last very long with contract signings.
Yeah, they usually don't make it through the segment.
No.
And the finals.
The finals.
Attitude Inc. versus Hada and Analog. Hada and Analog were going to, Hada rolled into the ring because he had a bad knee. He was badly attacked by Chase Brooks with a chair.
Right.
Hada got immediately attacked by Attitude Inc., so did Victor Analog. I dropped down to slide under the bottom rope to get out of the ring.
Smart.
Somehow I got caught up in the bottom rope, and all of a sudden, I hear...
See, not only referees can botch things too, it's ring announcers.
Ring announcers.
All of a sudden I hear, "Get out of my ring, fat boy," and I felt Guy Smith's size 16 boot against my left shoulder. It didn't feel good. I didn't appreciate it. And he's lucky I respect Billy Alexander enough not to sue at least the now former tag team champions because they were defeated by Hada and Analog.
He's never going to learn.
Nope.
I could tie them up in so much litigation that their grandchildren would need divorce. Okay, buddy?
Fair enough.
Anyway, that's the results from Spectacle. We're going to fly through the preview for PGP this Saturday, then we're going to get to Spectacle. Because, oh my lord, do we have an announcement.
It's
PGP,
yeah,
2
we're
days.
just kind of dragging that one out, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm going to make these guys wait. Petersburg Fire Department. It is located at 302 East Taylor Street, Petersburg, Illinois. I've got adults $10 in advance, $12 day of show. Kids are $8 day of show, $5 in advance. Message Jesse Matthews. You have yet tomorrow still to receive your tickets. We're going to see the PGP Tag Team Championship on the line as Diamonds Are Forever, Kobe Durst and Mark Wheeler challenge Alpha Omega, Kenny Alfonso and Camaro Jackson. That's their names. My lord, drawing a blank. We've got the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament featuring Cutting Edge Champion Jake Durden, featuring Aaron O'Ryan, Derek Neal, the winner of the Sam Menaker Cutting Edge Invitational, AJ Gray, Tyler Matrix, and so many more names as well are going to be in that tournament. And then the huge franchise title match, a four-way, originally set to feature former WWF star Vic Capri, the Monster of the Midwest Baracus, and Mr. PGP Danny Adams, as well as originally set to be in the match was professional wrestling's biggest little man, Jake Lander. However, he had to pull out due to some unforeseen circumstances. His replacement in this match, none other than... I'm going to take a page out of Paul Heyman's book here. This isn't a prediction. This is a spoiler. That Dan Lidlock is your next PGP franchise champion. I guarantee you that.
That's not a spoiler?
I'm going to have to contain my excitement. You know why? Because
No, you said it is.
their stupid ring announcer canceled. And, yeah, I have to ring announce the show now, too.
Oh, I guess that means Sliplock will have to
No,
handle the match on his own.
I told Jesse Matthews that I'll come back and do it only if I get double pay, because I'm not leaving Whitlock's side. He said he's desperate, so fine, I can do both for double pay. That's what's going to happen. That's the plan. Now, May 11th, 1401 North 8th Street, Springfield, Illinois. I just found this. PWA will present the Grand Wrestling Spectacle number 9. Doors open 6:30, showtime 7 o'clock p.m. Main event, regional heavyweight champion KC Jackson defends in a 3-way dance against Cardini and Jimmy Carrot. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I mentioned earlier Road Warrior Animal had to pull out of that appearance, but we now have the announcement to make for you all.
The ink is just dried on the paperwork.
The ink has just dried on the paper. It's gonna the ink is just dried on the paper. I'm so excited because May 11th, meet and greets are $40. Doors open for the meet and greet at 5:30. He's gonna be there at intermission as well. $40, you get a photo opportunity, signed 8x10, and you get your first choice of seats as well as a Q&A session with none other than former WWE superstar, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
Wow. Scott Steiner.
The big bad booty daddy himself.
The master of the
Former
Steiner
tag team
recliner.
champion.
And the Frankensteiner.
And the Frankensteiner.
That's right.
Don't call it a hurricane.
No.
That's a good way to get him mad at you.
Yeah.
I ain't making that man mad.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Scott Steiner at the Grand Wrestling Spectacle. That's right. That shows you how elite we are here in Springfield. That shows you how much we care about the fans. Road Warrior Animal cancels a month out. No problem. Because we got a backup plan.
Always have a plan B.
Always.
Always.
Doors open for the Grand Wrestling Spectacle. Of course, 6:30. Showtime 7 o'clock. Meet and greet starts at 5:30. $40. You can get the pre-sale at tiny.cc/PWA-Tix. We also, that's our online shop. You can also buy them at the door. $40 for a meet and greet. Of course, again, I'm going to repeat it. Photo opportunity, signed 8x10. Q&A session with Scott Steiner, and you get your first pick of seats for the Grand Wrestling Spectacle. Wherever you want to sit, it's open for you, buddy, because you get in before all the rest of the fans do. Now, if you're not getting a meet and greet, adults are $15, kids 6 to 12 are $12, and kids 5 and under, of course, are always free. It's going to be fantastic. Always free. It's going to be great. Scott Steiner at PWA's Grand.
And I did hear a little bit of inside information from the board of directors. They are working on something huge for Spectacle 10. But
Spectacle 10. We can't quite announce it yet because it's not set in stone.
Well, we don't even know the details yet.
We don't have any details at all.
We just know that we hear it's something big.
And
mind-blowing big.
I haven't even been told
So if you think that it's big and we're getting Scott Steiner for Spectacle 9, what about Spectacle 10? I mean,
check yourself there, buddy.
10 years.
Because word has it,
PWA's 10th anniversary
word
is
has
next year.
That maybe, now I'm not guaranteeing anything, but maybe this announcement will be ready by Spectacle 9. So
that's what
tuned.
the board of directors is telling me they're hoping to be able to do.
It's not set in stone, so
right
don't
now,
expect the announcement.
Just purely speculation.
Unless I or Billy Alexander or PWA themselves announce beforehand about this huge announcement, don't expect a huge announcement. Either way, Spectacle 9, Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump.
You know what? You know what would be the best way to find out if there's a special announcement or not? Be there in person.
Be there in person. The Grand Wrestling Spectacle, also featuring Brian Ely, Magnus, Riley McGuire, DC Shaw. We've got Attitude Inc. Commissioner Billy Alexander, of course, is going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. New tag team champions had an analog, and I'm being told that maybe some sort of special women's match. I don't know if we're ready to announce that quite yet. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be.
I think that's going to be it for this edition of the Sleeper Hold, where there are always no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. Joining the analyst Robert Leach, myself as always, was the Couganator and the insider Eric Zeidler. That's going to be it. Tune in next week.
The official announcement from PWA should be going up on their website shortly on Facebook.
Hopefully tomorrow morning, I do believe.
If not tonight, tomorrow morning, but you heard it here first.
That's right. You heard it here first.
Exclusive.
Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump at the Grand Wrestling Spectacle number 9. We're going to see you next week. Everybody, say bye.
Say bye.
Bye, everybody.